So there's this term that comes from Agile Project Management called Scrum. And Scrum clearly comes from rugby. And the art of a Scrum is that it's a micro-check-in that acts as a transparency tool. It allows you to understand where your learners are and be able to provide really key feedback, either before it's too late or in a way that allows them to iterate much faster. It's this review and retrospective. And if you build that into the daily or weekly culture of your learning community, especially in project-based learning and deeper learning spaces, you're going to be able to have your students prototype their ideas or actually understand what's happening in your classrooms in a much more tangible way. There's so many variations of a Scrum, but so many times we use it internally at Unrulr, and I used it when I was building the senior capstone program at a school in Hawaii. We have the learners answer a question or respond to the prompt of, what was I working on last week? What am I working on this week? And what are my blockers? And you can deviate that. You can change that every single week. You can have them talk about what they worked on last week, what they're grappling with this week, and what are they proud of. There's so many different ways to kind of build that out. But what's powerful about this is it allows you, before you meet them, kind of on a one-on-one, almost like a writer's workshop conversation, to be able to actually understand what the hell is happening in their project and in your classroom. And if that's visible, like I talked about in a previous video, and other learners are able to have a gateway in, a peek into their other, fellow students' processes and what they're grappling with, it becomes a much more collective and joyous kind of communal atmosphere too. So what's super crucial is that this becomes culture in your classroom or in your program. You can start the week with it. You can have this be a round table conversation where everyone stands up and kind of goes around. Sometimes that takes a long time. Sometimes that can be super quick. You can have your learners document in a Google Doc or other activities kind of where they're at and have others see it. But when that's visual, when other learners have insight into other learners' processes, when they can gain confidence or have a question answered from watching another person's Scrum check-in, oh man, that's like the secret sauce. And that's honestly why Unrulr is this fantastic Scrum tool within your classroom. You can create a prompt, a kind of living and breathing discussion board, and ask 3 questions. What you were working on last week? What are you working on this week? What are your blockers? What's getting in the way? But it allows that learner to be able to have even greater scaffolding and have this schedule that they're following. And the powerful part of doing this in Unrulr is that there's so many modalities that a learner can use to showcase those 3 questions: video, PDFs, photo, audio. There's all of these different ways for them to pair that with writing and to allow other learners, even more importantly, to jump into a post and comment on it and say, I was there last week. Here's where I can help you. To allow this to now become a collaborative effort shifts the classroom from this independent, lonely space to hopefully a much more joyous, human connected kind of collective endeavor, like we normally see in sports, but how we want to see this in kind of the academic atmosphere as well. Mahalo for watching. Please subscribe. Check out the other tips and tricks videos. We've an incredible podcast, and we'd love to meet you. We'd love to schedule a demo or just get to learn about the amazing things you're doing and see if we can collaborate. Have a great one.